I was sitting alone on the back porch that evening, a blanket across my lap, a glass of wine in hand, and the hush of twilight settling like a sigh across the yard. The world had that soft fading light that makes everything feel just a little more fragile. It had been 5 years since Mark passed, but time hadn't dulled his absence. Some days it felt like I was still waking up to the shock of it. Other days it was like he'd been a dream, something my heart remembered but my hands couldn't reach anymore. His things were still scattered around the house in quiet corners, his coffee mug, his old chair, the dent in the wall from a remodeling mishap. I didn't cling to them, they just lingered like echoes. That kind of love doesn't leave, it simply changes shape. When Jake, Mark's younger brother, started coming by more often over the last year, I welcomed it. Not for the company, I told myself, but for the familiarity, the help, the kindness, and maybe, if I was honest, for something else I hadn't dared name yet. That night he let himself in through the back gate. "Hey Carol, you out here right where I always am," I called back with a smile. He joined me with a 6-pack of dark beer and that soft, steady energy he always carried. Mark had been the spark. Jake was the ember, gentle, thoughtful, observant. We sat quietly sipping, letting the evening speak for us. He smelled like cedar and clean laundry and something unnamably comforting. "I was thinking about him today," he said after a long pause. "Mark, yeah. Happens out of nowhere sometimes." "You ever get that all the time?" I whispered. We shared a laugh over Mark's annoying dishwashing hum, and for a moment the grief felt lighter. Then Jake reached across the space between us and gently touched my hand. Just a brush, hesitant like a question without words. I didn't move. I couldn't. When he started to pull away, I covered his hand with mine. "Don't be sorry," I said. The silence that followed didn't ask for explanation. It just was, full of memory, longing, and something new taking root. The next morning I woke early, drawn to the quiet in a way I hadn't been in years. I made coffee, stood barefoot in the kitchen, and found myself thinking not just about Mark but about Jake, about the way his hand felt on mine, gentle, careful, like he understood how easily someone could break after loss. Later that day he came by again with lunch, this time chicken salad from Moran's. He grinned and held up a peach tart. "You like peach, right? Only if it's unapologetically buttery." We ate together at the kitchen table like we had for years, laughing softly, letting conversation drift from weather to memories to the quiet places in between. He asked how I was, and I found myself answering honestly. "I think I'm okay. Better than most days." "You don't have to pretend with me," he said, and I believed him. That day his hand rested near mine again, not touching, just there, offering, and I accepted. As the weeks passed, Jake and I found a rhythm. He'd stop by with groceries or books. We'd sit on the porch or dance in the kitchen. He didn't try to fill the silence Mark left behind. He honored it, simply making room beside it. One cool evening, as we sat under a shared blanket on the porch swing, I whispered, "Sometimes I feel guilty for this." He asked gently, "Do you?" I nodded. "I loved your brother, and sometimes I wonder if feeling this makes that less true." "You're not replacing him, Carol. No one could. Just letting yourself feel again, that's not betrayal. That's healing." That night he kissed me for the first time. It wasn't passionate or demanding. It was patient, like a door slowly opening, like an invitation to something neither of us had planned but both of us needed. In the days that followed, something softened inside me. The grief didn't vanish, but it no longer hollowed me out. Jake wasn't a new chapter. He was a continuation, an echo of love with a different rhythm. He told me one morning, "I'm scared I'll mess this up. I don't want to dishonor Mark. I don't want to hurt you." "You're not stepping on his memory," I said. "You're showing up where love left its place." And that's exactly what he did, showed up with kindness, with patience, with a presence that reminded me I was still here, still worthy of being seen, of being touched, of being loved. We didn't rush. We didn't explain ourselves to the world. We just kept choosing each other, one quiet afternoon at a time. When he touched my hand, a love I never saw coming, a story about loss, memory, and the quiet surprise of finding love again where you least expected.